Browns fans, buckle up because we have some big roster moves to look forward to. The Cleveland Browns are making some major adjustments ahead of free agency on March 12th, and things are starting to heat up. On Monday, the team made several notable changes, shaking up both the secondary and special teams unit, and we need to talk about what that means for the future. So to stay in the know, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's start with the big one. The release of safety Juan Thornhill. This move frees up $7 million in salary cap space, which tells us one thing. The Browns are looking to make some serious upgrades to the secondary. Thornhill struggled last season, missing 22.6% of his tackles according to Pro Football Focus, and the Browns clearly felt it was time to move on. It's a tough decision, but one that could be worth it if Cleveland can bring in a more solid, reliable presence in the backfield. But that's not all. Later in the day, the Browns made another move, signing former Titans cornerback Anthony Kendall. Now, Kendall isn't a household name, but he has potential. He went undrafted in 2023, but he managed to make the Titans' final 53-man roster and played in 16 games as a rookie. He didn't stick around last season, bouncing between the Titans and Ravens practice squads, but now he's getting another chance in Cleveland. With the Browns clearly focused on rebuilding their secondary, Kendall could be an interesting depth piece heading into training camp. And then, on Monday night, another move caught everyone's attention. The Browns officially parted ways with long snapper Charlie Hewlett. This is a bittersweet decision because Hewlett has been a staple of the Browns' special teams since 2014, playing in 152 games for the franchise. Unfortunately, injuries limited him to just 5 games last season, and Cleveland decided it was time to move on. The move frees up an additional $1 million in cap space, but it's still tough to say goodbye to a player who has been such a consistent presence on the team. General Manager Andrew Berry released a statement about Hewlett's departure, calling it a bittersweet transaction. He praised Hewlett's work ethic and perseverance and made it clear that the Browns will welcome him back as part of the family when his playing career is over. That's how much he meant to this organization. So what's next? The Browns are clearly gearing up for some big changes. With free agency looming and even more cap space now available, we could see some big names coming to Cleveland. The question is, who will they target? Will they go after a top-tier safety to replace Thornhill? Will they continue to bolster the cornerback position? And what's the plan for special teams now that Hewlett is gone? Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What do you think of these moves? Are you on board with the decision to release Thornhill? Do you think Kendall has a chance to make an impact? And who do you want the Browns to sign in free agency? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Now, we have some serious developments to discuss regarding the number 2 pick in the upcoming NFL draft and the never-ending quarterback debate in Cleveland. Plus, a veteran name is heating up as a potential target for the Browns. Let's break it down and get right to it. First, Penn State's Abdul Carter, a top pass rusher prospect, will not practice at the NFL Combine due to a shoulder injury. Now, why does this matter? Because the Browns, with the coveted number 2 pick, have a big decision to make. Do they go after a quarterback or take the best player available? For months, the debate has raged. Some believe the Browns should take a QB like Miami's Kim Ward or Colorado's Shedeur Sanders. Others argue that taking the best overall player, like Heisman winner Travis Hunter of Colorado or Penn State's Abdul Carter, is the right move. But with Carter unable to showcase his athleticism at the Combine, things have gotten a little more complicated. His agent, Drew Rosenhaus, quickly addressed the situation, assuring teams that Carter will be ready to perform at his Penn State Pro Day. ESPN's Adam Schefter also reported that Carter and Rosenhaus are sending letters to teams to confirm that his shoulder is not a long-term concern. Now, let's shift gears to the quarterback situation. If the Browns don't draft a QB at number 2, who will be under center? Well, according to NFL insider Albert Breer, one name keeps popping up: Kirk Cousins. During an episode of the MMQB podcast, Breer and co-host Connor Orr discussed potential destinations for veteran quarterbacks this offseason. And when Cousins' name came up, Breer said what many in the league are already thinking: Cleveland. I think most people are thinking the same thing about him, which is Browns, Breer said. This isn't the first time Cousins to Cleveland has been mentioned. The rumors started when the former Vikings and Falcons QB was benched late last season. And let's not forget, Cousins and Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski have history. They worked together in Minnesota from 2018 to 2019, with Stefanski serving as Cousins' QB coach before becoming offensive coordinator. So does this move make sense? Let's consider the facts. Cousins is recovering from an Achilles injury, but as we've seen in recent years, players bounce back from that faster than ever before. If he's fully healthy, he brings veteran leadership, proven production, and familiarity with Stefanski's system. That's a lot more stability than throwing a rookie into the fire right away. But taking a veteran like Cousins could mean the Browns going all in on a playmaker like Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter with that number 2 pick instead of a quarterback. Ultimately, the Browns have some big decisions ahead of them. Do they rely on a rookie QB to turn things around? Do they bring in a generational talent on defense? Or do they bring in a veteran like Cousins and try to win now? And if Cousins comes to Cleveland, would he be the right choice to lead this team? Leave your thoughts in the comments. The Cleveland Browns are making it clear they are absolutely desperate to convince Myles Garrett that they are done with Deshaun Watson and are serious about fixing the quarterback situation for next season. And honestly, can you blame them? After an 11-win season in 2023, they completely fell apart in 2024, managing just 3 wins. Now, with the AFC North getting tighter and tighter, the Browns have a big problem on their hands, and at the center of it all is Myles Garrett. The Browns don't need to trade him, but keeping a frustrated, unhappy star in the building is a recipe for disaster. That's how you ruin a locker room. That's how you start a season that's already doomed before week 1. Garrett has made his request loud and clear. He loves Cleveland, but at 29 years old, he wants to win now. And can we really argue with him? The guy has been one of the NFL's best pass rushers for years, and yet the Browns have consistently fallen short. If the team wants to keep him, they need to show him, right now, that things are changing. And that starts at quarterback. Deshaun Watson is not the answer. He hasn't been since the day he arrived. And now, after tearing his Achilles tendon again, he's once again a big question mark heading into 2025. If the Browns can't land a legitimate upgrade at QB, Garrett has no reason to believe things will get better. So what do you do if you're Andrew Berry? How do you send a message that you're serious about contending? Well, apparently, you go after a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Yes, you heard that right. Out of nowhere, the Browns have emerged as one of the teams reportedly interested in trading for Matthew Stafford. According to Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer, Cleveland has joined the Steelers, Raiders, and Giants in showing interest in the Rams QB. After all, Watson is on the books for $46 million this year and next, with a salary cap hit of over $72 million. That kind of contract usually means a team can't afford to bring in another expensive quarterback. But here's the big question. Would that be enough to keep Myles Garrett in Cleveland? Because let's be real, if the Browns are going all in on Stafford, it's not just about improving the QB position. It's about convincing Garrett that this team is ready to win now. And if Garrett still wants out, then what's the point? You can't afford to fix one hole while creating another. Trading for Stafford only makes sense if it's part of a larger plan that includes keeping Garrett. Otherwise, you're just transferring your biggest problem on one side of the ball to the other. Would signing a veteran QB be enough to convince Garrett to stay? Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Browns updates. Let's go, Browns!